I'm going to cut it short. Let's go straight to it. The counter does not quite work tonight because I choose to ignore the counter. So if you're watching this on YouTube, streaming live, we're also on Clubhouse. The feed for you all has changed. I'm going to have to find the new feed to share that with the room. I think I still have Charles is still around. Charles will be right back on Zoom with us. Tonight, we're doing this Soundcheck also live streaming on YouTube. And I will be getting the link for you shortly. Yes, Michael.
Should I play the correct music for this room? Since that's the Rodecaster music?
I actually have it too. I've got the two musics messed up because I was using my preset was set to the wrong one. Anyway.
Yeah, I got you.
Welcome, Soundcheck. Welcome, Soundcheck. But I am going to see if I can actually get you all the live feed. If you go to... I'm going to put the link in here for you. I have too many windows, as I was saying. Learner to learner/live. That way you can get to the live feed of what we're doing right now. We were doing it with the Rodecaster.
Also mod me when you get a chance, please.
Okay.
And John, at the end of the room, the Soundcheck or the Rodecaster room, Jeanette said that she had a question for me here in the Soundcheck room. So I want to invite her onto the stage and ask her what that's all about, and then we can do whatever else this evening.
Sounds good. By the way, you're coming through mono, just so you know.
Of course I am. Of course I am, because that's the way this happens. Oh my goodness.
But it's okay. But you have the right music.
Yeah.
So Michael, what you can do, maybe you can try this, because I tested this with Charles. If you go to your audio right now, and without having to talk, like you can have yourself muted, change your input and output to a different source, and as if you're going to use the other source, and then change it back to the current source, it might bring stereo back to you. Hopefully. We'll say let's say hi to, in that order, Lalo, Jeanette, and then Arthur. Lalo, how are you?
I'm doing good. Long time no talk. How are you, John?
I'm doing good.
I'm just excited to see this new dimension that you're bringing for all of us with video. I think this is going to be a huge help. I love that you still are committed to audio only, but how cool is it that we can see our friends, and also like for people that need help, and for visual learners, this is going to be a game changer. So again, very proud of you, and very admirable effort to make the experience better and upgrade it for all. So
thank you, Lalo.
Back to you.
Thank you. And Jeanette, hello.
Well said, Lalo. I totally agree. It's so nice to have that extra feature, not only because we get to see the faces of the voices that we've been hearing for so many years, but we also get to like show you, and instead of like describing the specific thing or a specific part, we just show it to you, and you know exactly what to do with it. So that's awesome. Thank you for that. And also, can I have the Zoom link? Because my question for Michael is a show and tell.
I will paste the Zoom. So I just pasted the Zoom link, and let me know if it works. It should work. It forwards to the Zoom link. So if you want to join the live stream, just know that if you click on that link and join the meeting, you are letting me know that you are okay that you are being live streamed on YouTube. So if you want to be on there but just want to be audio, just turn your camera off and you could still be on Zoom. But if you feel comfortable staying on Clubhouse, that's perfectly fine also. We have Charles on there. Cindy Lou is also on Zoom with us, but they're both stepping away for a little bit. So when Jeanette come back, you can go to the chat to look at the live video of the current room. I guess post a direct link also. You can let me know if the live link is working. I think it just goes to my live page, but then I have the sound check one. So I guess I could share that. I'm going to share that in the chat room, the actual direct link. Oh, I guess my thing is not working.
I'm going to try something, John.
Yes. Oh my gosh, are you going to come on?
You'll see.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Charles is back.
I'm back.
You're back. I'm gonna see if I can.
I will say
Yeah.
one thing to be aware of is when you end up creating a layout like a 3-up, a 2-up, 3-up, or 4-up. Be sure to turn off active speaker.
How do I turn off active speaker? You mean like turn that overlay off?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do a. Okay, I can't do this. This one is not showing. Why am I? What is that black hole on the left side? Oh, because it's. I think it was Cindy Lou. So
She's still there.
she's still there. She's still here. Okay, so I'm gonna take her off so that it's just you and me. And then I think Jeanette will be joining us shortly. Nee is in Clubhouse as well. Of course, Arthur, we're going to say hi to Arthur right now. Hello, Arthur, and hi, Pete, in the audience.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a while. I feel like I've aged quite a bit. I mean, I was like, man, I didn't know you were doing this. This is cool.
Yeah, you can watch this live also, and if there's anything visual we wanted to share,
so there's a little bit of a lag. So I took the link and I put it on my computer.
Mute the audio on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, that's muted. And so I'm watching the video, and so that's what you look like. Okay,
That's
so
how I look like.
that's pretty cool. And I love the setup. I love it because I'm going to ask for pointers about this later.
Oh, cool. Yeah, hang out as long as you want. There's no second show after this, so we can go a little bit longer if we need to.
All right.
But you sound great. Nee, hello from South Korea. 안녕하세요. 안녕. Maybe he can't speak. I see one person viewing, but I that might be I don't know. Earlier it wasn't even showing me the viewer count. Earlier was showing me 0. So it must be you and whoever else. No, I know Arthur's watching, so it must be more than one. So the count, maybe it's a bug report too. Maybe I have to report that back to Ecamm. So what I'm doing this is, if you're watching this now, since I broke this unintentionally, I hit a button and it ended the stream. And so I had to start a new one. So I might as well start a fresh one called Soundcheck. So what I'm doing this is I have my existing community out on Clubhouse that have been with me the whole time, learning about audio stuff together. And I recently wanted to try doing this with a video component because I just started using Ecamm back in March of 2024. And when they started to, and I just started to subscribe to Ecamm Live Pro subscription to get their interview mode for my not this one, but a different podcast. And as soon as I did that, I paid for it, and then they start to announce that there's going to be a Zoom integration. I was telling Charles that no way I'm going to pay another like $150 for Zoom call so that I can do what I already paid like over $300 for my Ecamm Live. And guess what happened? They haven't even released the software yet. I'm still on beta. I'm already all in. And what you're seeing right now,
2 subscriptions in.
What you're seeing
That's
right
how they
now,
get you, man.
Mr. El Cheapo.
I've come a long way to just this cheapskate.
You have. Yeah.
I am so into it because what happens is if you're watching this on YouTube and have no connection with what we do on Clubhouse at all, just know that every Tuesday, there's going to be a chance for you to get onto the show and talk to us directly and ask your question like what we did in the other room with Paula. She can ask her roadcaster question. We answer her immediately. She gets a result right there. So if you're lazy and don't want to do the research, just want to ask somebody once a week, you can do that here. So make sure you subscribe. Oh my gosh, I'm already changing my terminology. Make sure you subscribe so when we go live every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Central Time for Soundcheck, you can join us as well. So that's where it is. Looks like on Clubhouse, we also have Matthew joining us. Hello, Matthew.
Good evening, gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
So I always love these rooms. Wanted to kind of report back. I've talked to you guys a couple times about some of the equipment I'm always trying to use.
Uh-huh.
I just recently got the Rode wireless mic pros for the
Yeah.
coaching conference I've got coming up. I'm using those with my 2 Mevo cameras, and I'm just getting a the Nighthawk wire Wi-Fi to make sure I've got good streaming capability. And I'm stoked. I got 3 weeks till the conference, and about to start testing my equipment tonight.
Nice. So do you have the handheld one, the wireless pro, is that the handheld one that just was released?
It's the brand new lavalier one. So not using it right now. I'm just
the wireless. Okay, wireless Go.
Yes,
Pro. Okay, got it. Because they also released a new one. Maybe it's not available yet. What is that one? Is that called Rode
like the
Wireless?
Interview Pro or something like that?
Yeah,
Interview Pro.
It's not available now. I would have had one in my hands, but
Yeah. That's a handheld one, Matthew. But yeah, I'm excited for you. Have you tested much with it?
I started playing with it a bit. So the mics themselves, and kind of reading through the instructions as to how you can play with different settings. You can actually create different default settings on the mics depending on how you're doing whatever you're doing. And I just got my second Mevo start. So I've connected those. Like I've used some of the pieces before, but I'm about to probably tonight go in the backyard, set up a couple little tripods, put 2 cameras on, and do a quick stream to Facebook to talk about the interviews I'll be doing and see how it works. No better way to test it than live, right?
That's cool. Which is, speaking of testing it live, which is what I'm doing right now. Matthew, I have just started, I think 3 weeks ago, live streaming this on YouTube as well. So the Rodecaster user meetup as well as Soundcheck, I'm live streaming it on YouTube as well. The link is in the chat for you to watch the video. But if you want to join, for people who are on YouTube and discover it there, it's going to take a little bit to build up the momentum there. But if you're watching it on YouTube and wanted to join us, you know that every Tuesday when you see us live in the chat of YouTube, you can just let us know that you're there and wanting the link. I will share that link with you so that you can join us live. Okay, what is Jeanette saying? So go check that out. How do I get my camera to join you on YouTube? You are not on... Did you not get the link? Let me share the link with you then. The link is simple. It is learner to learner, which is what I think what we're doing is I'm learning and you're learning. learnertolearner.com/join. So I just paste the link on YouTube. So if you're watching this, obviously outside of this is a recurring meeting. Outside of this, you won't be able to join because the room is not open at that time. But if you want to, you can go to learnertolearner.com/join and you will be forwarded to the Zoom link. And when you click on that link, you can then hop onto the call with us. Of course, when you do that, you're giving us consent that you're okay showing your face on YouTube.
Maybe next year by this time I can join you guys in the near future. Right now this is 12 almost 12 in the afternoon here, and it seems like I can never do anything with a group.
Why don't you? Are you outside walking? Why don't you tap on it and let us see your view or see your face through Zoom?
Yeah.
I cannot do that because
you're signing an ND, like a contract or something.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not in a space where you can do it. Okay.
No, I'm not in a space where I can do it now. I can do audio, but I can't do video.
Got it.
Unless I'm in my room.
Unless you're got it.
I have to take off my uniform and then put on a jacket so then they don't see my uniform and everything. So that's why.
We understand.
I'll jump in that way if that's still cool.
Yeah. Please do.
Okay.
Please do, Matthew. Yeah, join in and let's see how this experiment turned out to be. Because everything Soundcheck and Rodecaster user meetup was started off as a test anyway, and then the test went on for 3 years, and now we're testing new things. Let's see. Okay, I think Michael is on here as well. Michael is now
Yeah.
here.
So now I'm audioing through Zoom.
We can see his waveform. Are you Mike? Go ahead, say so. You Mike too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am on channel 2 on my mixer, but yes, you're seeing an overhead camera of my Rodecaster OG overlaid on top of my club deck.
That's nice. So you could be
see
my
myself.
club deck visual.
I could for now. That's part of the reason why I did this. Was like, well, if I can share my screen, like if you can see my stuff as a camera, then you can show that as whatever. And
Yes,
yeah.
I can totally do an overlay.
So-
It looks like, okay, Jeanette is now on. Turn on your camera and now I'll bring you in. So yeah, we can totally, I can, as we're talking, it's more people are here, so you guys are talking. If I don't need to use my brain cell much, I can try to see if I can program your sliver of your screen into the layout that I have earlier, where Clubhouse is on the left, I'm in the middle, and then everybody else from Zoom is on the right.
Sure. I think your cat agrees, actually.
Not my cat. I
So-
think it is.
That's
That's
not
my
Chai?
cat.
That's not
Oh.
Chai. That is
Hello,
Charles'
Charles' cat. Hello, Charles's cat.
That is Sammy O'Malley.
Hey, looks
can't
like
see it.
Matthew just joined us.
No, he's
sometimes
what
he
he's
does show up.
he
Okay.
does.
There you go.
Sometimes.
Are we seeing Matthew? He's out and about, so you're only seeing nostril shot right now. There you go. He's live
There's my
now.
boy.
Hey, wow, so good to see you.
Good to see y'all. You know, I love video. I like seeing people face to face. So thanks for the opportunity to jump on with you guys.
Sure,
It's a beautiful
sure.
day in California.
Hey, yeah, come on anytime. I am planning of any foreseeable future. Hopefully it'll get better, not as clumsy, but this is going to be part of Soundcheck going forward and part of the Rodecaster meetup video.
So your layout's amazing. So what are you feeding it into to do the three sections
out.
like this?
Ecamm. I use Ecamm. If you're a Mac user, Ecamm. That's what I use, and this is the live, so I can take. Speaking of the cat, so let's just put everybody aside. Look at the cat first, right now.
Whenever there's a cat on Zoom, we got to talk to the cat. Hello, cat.
Active camera automatically shows the frame with cats. But hey, how about dog?
Dude, the pets are taking over. I love it.
Sophie,
I've got my neighbor's cat.
The
I need
pets
to come
hijacked
up
the stream.
Oh, that's hilarious. Who was that
Bruh.
talking? Was it? Oh, Sara. It was Sara.
I was saying I have my neighbor's cat with me. I should jump on Zoom.
I know you should. Look at the little cat's face. So all this is
would
done.
you need consent from the neighbor to owner the cat?
Actually, we're co-parenting.
There you go.
Okay.
So she.
Hey, John, did we ever get to the question that Jeanette had for me?
No,
Or-
not yet.
I know,
She hasn't been able to speak yet. She turned on her microphone. I'm not sure if she speak. Jeanette, are you able to speak? No, I think she did speak earlier. But do you want your camera to be on, Jeanette? Let us know when you're back. Just
She is still trying to connect audio.
okay.
She's still trying to get in Zoom.
she said
Yeah, because pretty soon here, I do
fade.
probably want to sign off and get to bed. So
Well, look. Yes, Sarah.
With the Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you used to be able to save the conversation? Do you remember the 3 dots? And you could save the whole conversation in the chat? Where has that feature gone? Did you notice, or did you not know, or has it just disappeared, period, like permanently?
So it's still there.
Is it?
It just moved up to the top right. So if you have your chat window open, and give me just a second. here.
Maybe Charles will show you visually now that we're on the visual
Yeah.
platform as well.
Absolutely. So if we do, actually, let me think of the best way to do this.
Gotcha.
So
He's pulling out stuff. So
Yeah.
Charles, Matthew, Charles is also on Ecamm, and Ecamm's beta. Look at that trippy, trippy.
Hello.
Matthew Inception right there.
I am a twin, actually, but not like that. So.
Okay.
So which
All
is
right,
better?
so let me move that off a little bit. So let me do this.
I'm not sure if you're able to see this. He's showing to you visually. If you want to watch the YouTube stream, you can go to the chat, and there's a YouTube link there, and that goes to the current live stream. But when you do that, make sure you mute the audio from your YouTube so that you don't get double audio from Clubhouse and YouTube.
Gotcha. Okay, so my question to you, which is better, Zoom or Ecamm?
They're two
Both.
different things. Well,
Different tools, right?
yeah, two different tools. So I'll talk more about it once Charles show you this. What are you doing, Charles? Are you there?
Well, I was trying to. Yeah, I'm here. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, you would want to click the three dots and up at the top. So they moved it from the bottom up to the top, and then you still
Save
have the
chat.
save chat there. Yep.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, oh, I wonder where that's gone. But
Yep,
Okay.
still there.
cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. To answer, Charles, you want to take that?
As far as Ecamm and Zoom,
'Cause you
get
can-
both.
there's
Why
a
not?
bit of-
John did. So, no, they're two totally different animals. So, it really depends on what you're doing. So, I do a lot of online calls. I run my business fully remote, and so doing that, this is my meet and greet. This is my handshake. When I meet people virtually, this is like me walking up to them in person. So it's really important for me to have good video. The only way to really do that effectively is through a platform like Ecamm. Now, there's other alternatives out there, but I will say you get what you pay for. If you want ease of use, if you want a large support of a community, constant innovation that is stable, for the most part, Ecamm, if you're on a Mac, I would definitely recommend Ecamm. I think it's an investment that makes sense in the long term. And then, Zoom is, I see a lot of people that try to venture away from Zoom using, alternative methods, whether it's, other meetings like Microsoft Teams or Google Meet, and like, well, I have a Google account, I'll just use Google Meet, it's free. Again, you get what you pay for. Because of the pandemic, everybody, for the most part, can at least manage to use Zoom. And so there's this familiarity with it, even if they're not the most tech savvy person. So if you're having online meetings, I definitely would recommend Zoom. Yes, it stinks that you have to pay for a subscription if you're going to have over a 40-minute meeting. But even if you don't think you're going to go over 40 minutes, I would still recommend you get a subscription, because that one time you do need to go over 40 minutes, how unprofessional does it seem saying, hey, I'm on the freebie edition. Can we stop this meeting and restart it? I know you're trusting me with your money and your time, but I don't value your time enough to even pay $12 or $15 for a subscription. So I definitely recommend paying for at least the lowest tier of Zoom, so you can have that unlimited meeting time. And there's other benefits that come with it, but it's two totally different animals. If you do anything on Lineable, if you do some of the smart connects on Lineable, you'll also notice that people will take notice of you, because you will be able to pipe in overlays. So like when I go on meetings, I have my overlay. Oh gosh, what just happened there?
Trippy.
Yeah, so that was trippy. So you have these different overlays that you can put on, and it doesn't matter where you're having that meeting, or if that platform supports it, because you're passing it as your video stream. So there's a lot of credibility that goes along with it. That being said, focus on audio before video. Because if you have horrible audio, it doesn't matter how good your video is. Nobody's going to want to watch you, because it's going to be too painful to listen to.
So right now I'm hearing you, but I'm not seeing you on Clubhouse.
Because he's
That's because
coming
I'm not in
through.
Clubhouse.
He's coming through Zoom. It's coming through me. Charles is talking through my account because he's actually only on Zoom.
Whoa.
Okay, I was like going, okay, I'm hearing his voice, but I'm not seeing you, and I had been pulling down to refresh, and I'm thinking, where is he talking from? Thank you for correcting that.
And you'll find, Sarah, that even when I speak on when I speak right now, I'm muted on Clubhouse,
It's
but
coming
you can hear
through
me
me.
because I'm coming through John's thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty nifty. That's a good idea.
Look at that, Matthew's. Wow. Okay, so he's gone to his set now, Matthew.
Talk about an upgrade. Wow.
Bro came
Nice.
prepared.
He's turning on his system right now. I can see. So for me, the difference is there are some overlap, very little overlapping in those two things. So what Ecamm can do is to go live, obviously, for me, this instance. But for Charles, it's not really going live. It's important for Charles. Charles is being able to skin and actually design his video and pipe that into a Zoom call where you just know, why is his call so different? Something cool about it, I don't know what it is. It's because he's able to customize so many things. It's not just like a Zoom ready made things. I can see your green. But for me, the reason why I went on Zoom is because Zoom does Zoom does phone call, like meeting calls very well. People are familiar with the platform, and secondly, but for me, it's the audio is so good. The processing is done so well with the audio that I don't have to worry about if somebody's audio is not as good, will they sound okay? It's going to sound quite good. And then I like the going live stream, because you could go live stream technically within Zoom itself, but it's just going to look like a Zoom call broadcasted out to Facebook or YouTube. For me, I like to be able to have different layout, different graphics, different times have, like, if I'm showing the web browser, I wanted to be able to show a little my face on there, or whoever's asking that question face on there as well. So that's why the combination of the two is the magic for me. And that's why this cheapskate, you all heard me for the last 3 years, I would not pay for Ecamm. I would not pay for Zoom. I use Google Meet and then OBS. And the moment I switched to Ecamm, it was so good. And when I heard about the integration with Zoom, I tested it with Charles. It was so good. I paid for it. I think that weekend I spoke to Charles that weekday, and then that weekend I got the subscription for Zoom, and now I pay for both. But it's worth it because it makes my life so much easier. I can switch really quickly, doing switching like right now. If I just want to see myself with Charles, see myself with Matthew, just Matthew, Michael's desktop, I can do that really quickly. So that's the difference. Well, difference and the different usage for it. And the combination is the magic for me.
Hey,
Your
John.
lighting is amazing.
Yes, Jeanette, are you able to join?
I clicked the link.
Uh-huh.
The link at the top took me to the YouTube just to view, and then the link you put in the chat took me to Zoom Workplace. And when it opened, I couldn't see any of you guys, and I'm not sure what to do.
I will say, John, the link at the top somehow resolved to something different.
Is it
and
to-
I
is
actually
it
had
to
to
my-
copy and paste.
Is it to my WordPress page, or where does it go to? Is it not
Yeah,
the
it
Zoom?
went to a different page, so I had to basically take and I typed from my phone. I went and typed
okay.
the
So
URL.
let me not do the forwarding. I'll copy the actual link and I'll remove that, and I'll edit that and paste the actual link for you. It's very easy for me to do. I'm gonna paste the link again. And this is the same link. If you want to keep this thing, this is a recurring meeting. So every Tuesday,
good.
starting at 8 p.m., you can keep this link and hop on anytime. But just know, if you're on, you're okay that you show up on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
mic-
Or at
Don't
least
go to
your
bed.
headshot.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael, don't go to bed, bro.
No, what's up, Jeanette? Let's go.
I want to show you. I got to show you the devices first.
Okay, so it sounds like Jeanette has something to show Michael.
I think someone got an SSD.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, not that.
Oh man,
we talk about that.
I was so excited.
It's in the mail. It's on the way.
Okay.
Okay, all right, that's good.
That may be in last week's show.
Right.
Yeah, and the week before's.
That's right. The week one time
The
we were on a
extended
Zoom
version.
call until the next day. Matthew, you have something to say?
Yeah, so you guys, this just reminded me, I was going and getting ready to get a new SSD card for the event I'm getting ready to go to, right? And I looked inside, I only had like a 64 gig. And if I remember correctly, you guys were kind of razzing people like, who doesn't have at least a 128 gigabyte card now? So I'm getting two 512 gigabyte cards to put into my cameras to make sure that they can record long enough the whole time.
Yeah, especially if doing a live thing. You don't want to like, oh wait, let me switch card,
Yeah, we'll be right
And
back
if you
after
go up to
these
4K or anything like that, man, you're going to need that space. I'm just saying.
So hopefully,
Well, and the one thing I would say is, I'm assuming you bringing a MacBook with you.
I'm a PC person, so I'm bringing a laptop and I'm bringing an iPad. The iPad primarily because it has Mevo Studio, which gives you the multicam capability on it.
Yep.
And you can do the overlays through that also. So I can be switching back and forth. I can have a ticker across the bottom. Right now, I'm using vMix on my main computer, which I dig. And this is way better, but at least for a show, it'll be neat to be able to have it set up that way, I believe.
How long's the show that you're doing?
So what I'll end up doing is I'll be at the conference itself for 3 days. I'm scheduling out to where I'll have there's only certain vendor floor times. So during that, they're usually about an hour and a half that I'll have some people that are scheduled to be there, but I'll also schedule other people to surprise drop in. So that'll be kind of a live thing. And then I'll also do recorded interviews that are a little more quiet and private that I'll come back and then edit and be able to use those for better content too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing I was thinking about is that, what event is this?
It's called Scaling New Heights. So I'm a cloud-based accountant, and so I go to these different accounting conferences. Usually about 3,000 to 5,000 people at them.
I gotcha. Multi-vendors and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one thing that we used to do when I would go to events like that is we would carry anywhere from 2 to 4 SD cards. And then during our downtime, what we would do is we would carry a Thunderbolt SD card reader and we would dump it. So like if we were doing, the keynote speaker's on, we'd just crack our laptops open and dump everything on that SD card and wipe it, and just throw it all on our computer. And, depending on how big the files were, we could go ahead and even push it up to the cloud, because usually they try to increase the bandwidth at those conferences because there's so many people there that have to have it. So that's one thing that you might just remember to take with you is if you have a Thunderbolt or USB-C card reader, take that with you just in case you end up doing more drop-ins, or your drop-in takes a little bit, you get more time than you expected, or someone walks into the booth while you're doing your drop-in, you're like, oh, holy smokes, let's go ahead and talk to you while you're standing here. And because it's totally likely to happen in that environment. I've seen it happen a million times. So just
Brilliant.
I would just pack an SD card reader so you can dump it at those opportune times, when you're eating lunch or taking a break for a few minutes. You can go ahead and wipe it, especially if you're only taking 2 SD cards.
Yeah, it's I'm about to order them, so I wrote it down. I'll actually get 4 of them now, and then the reader. That makes a lot of sense to do it that way.
It's just a contingency because
why not, right? Like,
I mean, when you get into that environment, you definitely don't want to leave because you've got all the breakout seminars, you've got the main keynote, you've got vendors all over the place, and there's just people coming and going, walking constantly, and you never know when you're going to have that moment to catch them. So.
And it's all about the professionalism. Like, so for me, I'm excited. I've been wanting to do it this way to where an actual vendor designed their booth to where I have the space to do this time and being paid to do it. I've been fortunate to go to these conferences, be a speaker, and this time I'm actually being paid better to do this, and I'm getting the equipment that I want. It's like, it's such a hobby, like it's a hobby, and if you do it well, people remember it, and other people will invite you back and want to have you do it again for them, is my logic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Technology, it's good.
Well, Jeanette, speaking of technology, Jeanette, are you with us?
I don't know.
Your camera's not on, but we can hear you.
Through my mic or?
Because you're still on Clubhouse. Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you want to drop off Clubhouse and see if you can? Well, I see your mic unmuted on Zoom.
Is it Zoom Workplace?
Yes.
Yes.
And
are you joining from your computer or are you joining from your phone?
From my laptop.
From your laptop. Okay. I see that you've joined. You're there. So on your laptop, you should be able. Do you see your Zoom launching on there?
It says, I see a big screen, a big black screen. I see 6 participants at the bottom. I clicked on join audio, and then this message pops up at the bottom that says you want to use phone call, computer, audio as an option.
I
clicked on computer. I did, and nothing's happening.
Does that laptop, it appears it has a webcam because it's showing us an icon for it. It does have a microphone and speakers on it as well?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Does the microphone look like it's unmuted? Because I don't see an icon that it's muted, so I assume it's. But I don't hear. It says
connecting to audio on my side.
Oh,
like I can see in Zoom that says
okay. I don't
audio.
have that that detail. Oh no, I do. On my Zoom window, I do see it. So it's like it's trying to establish the connection. So it's not doing it. Do you have Zoom on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Maybe you can try clicking on the link, get out of Clubhouse, and then try and see if you can connect to us in Zoom through your phone and not your computer.
Okay, let me try that.
And Michael, are you still awake?
What?
Michael!
What?
That's the real
I'm
question
sorry, what?
right there.
Is it? Yes, I'm here.
Hey, but think of how much fun this is going to be for all of us talking about audio, talking about like face to face. We can show if you have to set up like what Michael is doing. If you look at Michael's screen, he has Clubhouse showing up, but he also has a top down camera showing his Rodecaster Pro's screen. And if there's any settings that he needs to change or he wants to call something out, he could do that. And you can probably switch, Michael, to just your overhead big, like live, right? Just taking over rather than the screen share.
It's
you don't have to do it right now.
This one right here.
Oh, you can? Oh, yeah, you're on OBS?
Here we
there
go.
You go. So, that screen. I miss that screen.
I also have the actual entirety of the mixer.
Oh, yeah,
but
there
I
you go.
usually need to show that. So.
Yeah. Cool.
With fortune
There you
cookies.
go.
It's I think there's something to
little messages of
what is it?
inspiration
What
for
is it?
myself.
To have the ability to touch
The lives of many people.
And then the numbers. More important.
Cheerful outlook is one of your assets, and then you are the light of the world. So
awesome.
There you go. Yay.
But how
let your light shine, folks.
How cool is that we're able to now add that visual component to it? I'm super excited. Oh, I'm seeing a box. What is that, Matthew? You got to probably zoom out a little bit if you're going to show that box.
So, actually, I've got a question for you guys. Some time ago, I bought a Presonus Quantum 2 audio mixer.
Okay.
Beautiful device, right? that my whole goal was to be able to do higher end audio. The challenge I ran into is I did an impulse buy and didn't understand when I did it about Thunderbolt 2. So for the longest time, I haven't been able to use it. And a friend of mine gave me a Mac Air, the AirBook, an older one that has Thunderbolt 2 on it. But finally, I can plug it in. I can actually see that it turns on. I've been holding on this for like 3 years because I spent like $400 on this $900 adapter. I'm like, I'm going to use it one of these days. So my question becomes, should I just sell this piece off? Because the only way I could really use it is I'd have to run this through a Mac and then tie it back in through NDI or something into my vMix and all that kind of stuff, just so I feel like I didn't waste the money. What should I do?
Charles.
Well, I would tell you congratulations. You're starting to see why Mac is superior. No, I'm just sorry. Any opportunity I have, I gotta throw that out there.
Bro, have to throw shade.
So, I will tell you right now on, let me do this. I will give you a realistic idea of what you may be able to get for it.
Very quickly, I want to
pre-owned
welcome
market.
Arthur to the feed. Arthur.
What's up, Arthur?
Look at that. We're seeing Arthur too. Oh my goodness. And who else is there? I think that name sounds familiar. Who's the
Minion?
Yes. Is that
Minions are, from
but he's
No, this is mignon. This is like filet mignon
this
sort of thing.
But who's that is somebody that was on here and I can't remember the name because they didn't change the name. Who was it? Do y'all remember who that is? Identify yourself.
Was it Cindy Lou? She likes to play games with
Maybe?
names.
No, Cindy Lou is probably gone for the evening. She
Okay.
sent me a back channel message. So
But anyway, sorry to interrupt. But here the folks.
Yeah,
Oh, look
so-
who's here too. Jeanette's also here.
Jeanette, yes. So right now, what has sold on eBay? Okay, so I always look at completed listings sold. They're running anywhere from $300 to $500.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you an idea of where it's at. In the Sweetwater, it's $4.99, I think. So, I mean, if you don't have a practical use for it, I would just say offload it. Otherwise it's just going to sit in the closet and it's going to lose even more value over time. I mean, it's probably pretty close to hitting the bottom of what you would be able to get out of it. So even a year from now, you'd probably be around the same amount, $300. But then you chance Thunderbolt 2 is going out pretty quick. I mean, we're on Thunderbolt 3. All the M series are Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4, yeah. So
I even made sure my new PC had Thunderbolt because I'm like, I'm gonna get this to work. It didn't work, but
no, it's a Mac thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, let's before
Or just
Michael falls
make
asleep.
the move to Mac.
Yeah, you might want to think about that and run Ecamm, and life would be simpler.
You already have an iPad. I bet you have an iPhone.
Yes, I do. You're right. I do. It's more of the guff I will catch from the rest of my community because I have, it's like surrender is the challenge.
Okay, Jeanette. I know Jeanette's been on now.
Well, that center stage has been following her around.
I
hasn't
know.
it?
She's been on, and let's see what she's able to show Michael. Like I think she's hearing us from somewhere else. Is this your laptop or is this your phone?
It's got to be an iPad for it to be center stage like that. Yeah.
Oh, but then there's no audio.
We
Oh,
can't
you
hear
just
you.
need to unmute yourself on this thing, your iPad or on your iPad, unmute yourself so that we can hear you. And you don't have to worry about the computer
Okay.
connection.
Okay.
But I would not
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
not
not
hearing
send you out. Oh, you won't be able to
Huh?
hear us? You can hear us through your iPad maybe.
Yes. Not
But-
through my roadcaster.
But you mean this whole time you're able to hear us from your computer?
You mean the time I was trying to get on?
Mm-hmm. Right now, you're still hearing us on the computer.
No, now I'm
Oh,
hearing
okay.
you through my iPad.
Okay. Because your computer connection is still there.
Yeah, I did. This is the screen I was getting. I never saw you guys, and I wasn't able to get on. That's in the link that you sent me.
Join audio by computer, and you click. There's something okay that you need to say up there. There's
I
something.
did.
What does it say?
This meeting is being live streamed. I click OK.
Yeah. Just acknowledge it, and then join. Then join.
I did. This is where
So
I
the reason
am.
why, it also warns you because of the integration with Ecamm. It will warn those guests joining that this is being live streamed. Even when I'm not live streaming, it will still warn you that because there's a potential that you could. But it's okay. We can see you on your iPad now.
Thank God I got 3 devices.
Remember last time I kick you out and then won't let you come back in?
Yeah.
All right. Show us what you've got there.
Okay. So as advised by Sean, I got the things he told me to get to do my outdoor live stream, to be able to monitor myself like how I do here with the Rodecaster, and then do it the same thing, monitor myself out when I'm in the park. So Sean said to get this.
And that's a recommendation from Michael too, right? Michael, that's what you recommend also, right?
I think I have a set of those, yeah.
Yes, and then I got the audio cord and the little things.
The adapters.
And then I think he must have forgot to tell me because I dance around, so I have to be cordless. So I got this.
Oh, what is that for? A transmitter and receiver, so for your audio so you can your headphones is then wireless.
Right, and I can spin around and jump and flip.
Well, to test it out and let me know how it goes, because sometimes wireless system, not all wireless system is fast enough to do it without any latency. If you're singing and if you're monitoring yourself with a system that has latency, it will screw up your head. Like whatever you sing will comes into your ear like half a beat later or a split second later. So make sure you test it out that it would work. There are wireless monitoring system. I have another one that I can share with you that I've seen a lot of musicians use. That if this one doesn't work out, I'll have another recommendation for you.
Okay, so my question is for Michael, what do I plug into what to get the final result? Like I have all the parts, I just don't know what I plug into which one I plug into which part and how I get it all to, because I've never had a monitoring system when I was outdoors singing. I just like listen from the speaker behind me. So now that I have all the gear, I just don't know how to put it together.
Cool. All right. First of all, I'm not the only person here who could help you with this, but I'm happy to help you with this. So you're connecting the output to your headphones from what again? What's playing out to the headphones?
My Bose speaker.
Okay. So ultimately, you're going to want a Bose speaker. Does it have an output plug?
Can you show us
it?
your Bose speaker?
Yeah.
Can you bring us your iPad to the iPad to your system?
Because ultimately, what we need to do is play the output of your music or whatever into that transmitter box, and then you'll plug those little earbuds into the receiver box. But we need to make sure we can get the output to that transmitter box first.
Okay, so I'm
go ahead
gonna
and grab that Bose speaker and let's take a look at it.
Okay, so I'll be right back.
All right, for people on Clubhouse, you can also watch the live stream in the chat. There is a YouTube link. If you scroll up just a tad bit, you can look at what we're talking about. The reason why we're doing this is I'm testing out the visual component of this live streaming this room, Soundcheck room, over on YouTube as well.
Now, the Bose, depending on the Bose system she has, some of the Bose speakers also have a wireless adapter you can take and plug in to make anything a wireless speaker, if that might help by chance. I don't know.
And I can't remember. I remember talking about, I think it was Sean that was talking to her. I don't remember what the the Bose system was. We've looked at it, and I think so I have to look at it again because I cannot recall what the Bose system was like and what sort of connections it has. In fact,
really, all we need is a headphone out. If
I
it
think
has a
that's what it
headphone
would
out,
be.
we can do it.
in fact, we talked specifically about not needing to move around, which I'll have to remind her because otherwise I would have suggested a wireless monitor system for her, because the reason why she got that long cable was because we talk about because it's not so easy using wireless for monitoring system because there's a latency, and
The latency,
to
yeah.
perform on there, it could be a bit challenging. But I'm not ruling it out yet because we haven't had her try it yet. So she's got to test it before we know for sure if it's gonna work. Okay, all right. Okay, so center
Oh, wow.
stage. Okay, so maybe I should take a picture.
Yes, take a picture.
So that's a full powered speaker itself. So I'm actually using, in my setup, I have a monitor speaker running through my Presonus little audio box USB 96 to where I can use that for my audio and control the audio coming back. It's on a different lower plane than the microphone, so I don't get the feedback the same way, but it gives me the ability that I don't have to wear headphones all the time, which I don't like that. But it pipes it right in, and it's using, you can use the 1/4 inch or your two top connectors there, whatever the right terminology is for that, that would get the audio into that piece is the goal, right? Play through, so you'll hear what's playing, I should say, the music and such.
You
Right.
got it figured out, the music going into the Bose. You want the music coming out of the Bose into your headphones, right?
Exactly. Yes,
Right.
Okay,
that's
so that was a line. There was a line out cable on the bottom of that. Was the 1/4 inch line out? Right, guys. It's so right
Yeah,
up
it's the
above the
connector
power
above
plug.
the power plug. Yeah.
And then you would need
Oh,
to
yeah.
feed that into exactly. You got it.
okay. So what
So
goes into that?
and you want it to go into your headphones?
Well, yeah, because I was Michael, I was saying that it's so nice to be able to hear myself. I really am able to adjust my pitch accordingly. It gives me a chance to like really, really hear what I sound like. And I would like to take that outside. So then Michael said, you can do that, with the ability of having the headphones. And Sean said as well, as long as you leave one in your ear and one out. And then he told me that this is what I needed to purchase. But he didn't say about the cordless part. So that's what I would need as well, because I'm moving around and my microphone's cordless. So I definitely want my ear system to be cordless as well. So that's why I bought this, to make that happen.
Okay.
So a couple things. Well, remember that John said there may be some latency, so that'll be something you have to try. But ultimately, to get the signal to that, you're going to connect to that line out 1/4 inch jack, and it's going to go into the transmitter box of that little wireless headphone system that you showed us. Now, I'm betting that input on that little transmitter box is an 1/8 inch cable. And so it may be that you've got to convert one end of the cable, to a 1/4 inch to plug into that line out of the Bose.
So is that this? I need these?
I need to get that bigger size. Can we bring her full screen again, John?
Yeah, she is. She's.
Why am I just seeing?
I'm just seeing the
Oh,
picture.
there you go.
It's a
Tap
great
of her.
picture.
There we go. Yeah, so one of those adapters should be able to plug into one end of the cord from the transmitter and plug into the output.
So one end of this cord goes into here, and then it plugs into the line in on the
No.
Bose.
So the headphone transmitter should have a cable that came with it. Hopefully, it came with an 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch cable.
Let's see.
I sure hope it did.
There's stuff in here.
Yeah. So
There we go.
that cable that just fell out.
Looks like a TRRS.
Let's see both ends of it.
It's TRRS.
Yeah, so that'll work fine. If you plug one of the adapters, one of the headphone adapters you had in the other bag, there's two in that bag, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of those will plug into one end of that cable, and then
Okay.
that will plug into the aux out of the Bose. The other end
Okay,
will
so
plug into the little transmitter box.
okay, and to make it a little more complicated, this is my Rodecaster that I use on the road because Rodecaster is not portable. So I'm using this, and this is where I would use for my sound effects, and the music is running through here. So this is what I would plug directly into the Bose.
Right. That's going to be an input into the Bose, and you're going to connect that the way you normally do.
Okay.
The cable that you got out of the box with the headphone set, you want to, again, plug one of those headphone adapters into one end of that cable and plug it into the aux out of the Bose. Right. So adapter into the aux out, the cable into that adapter. You hear what I'm saying? So the little adapter in the bag, we'll go through this step by step.
Okay.
So the bag that had the two adapters in it, one of those adapters is going to go on the end of that cable that you showed me. That came with.
Let me do it right now.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
I won't be confused. Be asking people in Central Park, somebody help me.
So funny thing is, I didn't remember that you were talking about moving around. That's the reason why we got you the long cable, is to connect your mixer to your headphones. Not.
And I was gonna message you about that because I'm like, I'm gonna.
But
be
you
all
you change your
tied up.
mind. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now you are not gonna hear this as well because it's number one. I don't know if it's gonna be stereo. If it is stereo, it might not be fast enough. But we'll make that judgment once you get to test it.
Oh, I doubt it's going to be stereo. Aux out, it's only going to be mono. But for headphones and what she's doing, it's not going to make any difference. Yeah. So take the cable that came with, the cable in your right hand, and one of the ends is going to plug into that adapter.
So these are both ends, 1/8" TRRS on both ends on the cable that she's.
And actually, in this case, the TRRS is not necessary, but it's good to have just in case. So then that goes into the aux out of your Bose.
Line out?
Line out.
Okay, which is that one, yes.
Yep. That plugs in there.
Yep.
This one, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then the other end of the cable was going to plug into the little transmitter box that came with the kit.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
And it may need batteries still. It looks like it was brand new in the box. Yeah.
Okay.
So the one that says transmitter, there should be an 1/8" plug on that you'll plug the other end of the cable into.
Yeah. Can you show us where there's a port? Probably on the very top. Can you flip the top? Yeah.
Yeah, right there next to the red tab. That's where you're going to plug the cable into.
Oh, it says pair, so it might be Bluetooth. Ugh. I'm not hopeful, but I'll reserve my judgment. In the meantime, I'll look up the other one.
So this goes into this.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And once everything is powered on, then you should be able to send the signal out to the other box, that's the receiver, and you plug your headphones, the Sony earbuds, into the receiver box.
So that means that these go into this.
Correct. Yeah.
Oops.
and there should have an identical plug on the top of it like the other one did, except this is an output that goes to your headphones instead of an input that comes from the mixer. Yep. You probably won't need that cable because the headphones have their own plug. But it's a good cable to have because it is a TRRS cable, and those are very
if you open up your
headphones,
things. Then you'll see the connection that you can plug into your receiver, tiny little receiver box. They are pushing hard. It's a bestseller. Legato MS1.
It's supposed to be good. I hope it does the job,
test. I mean, I'm happy because, but it is not
2.4
Bluetooth.
gigahertz. So it's Wi-Fi is what
good.
it's using.
It's better than Bluetooth.
So this
So that would, yeah, that would go into your receiver box.
That's this one. This one, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yes. There you go. See the headphones icon?
Yeah.
Maybe it works. If it does, I'll get one too.
You could pay me for this idea later. Okay.
I'm really
So
curious
now-
about the latency. Like
I
if it's
know.
going to be good enough for.
The other
Well,
one that I was
watched the
looking,
review. I watched the review on YouTube, and
and a
guy
lot of
said
performers
the
use that.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's why I got it,
that
'cause
gives
it
me
was like-
a lot more assurance because looking at it
Mhm.
being not Bluetooth has it's more hopeful. So do a test and let us know.
So this just to make sure I got it right.
That's
so
just you
this
just-
this is going in the little roadcaster, the mini roadcaster is going into my Bose, right? Is that right?
Yes, you would plug the little. She has like a little mixer. That
let's
she
not
used
call it a
portable,
roadcaster,
'cause
let's
it's-
just call it a
because
mixer.
you also have a roadcaster, so it's confusing. So we don't want to mix that up. So she's not using her roadcaster Duo. When she's portable, she's using her Tech
I wish I
Star.
could, but it needs power. It needs a power support, so I don't have. All I have is a power bank, a little USB power bank, which powers everything else. But that's not strong enough because I tested it to plug the roadcaster to power it. It needs like an outlet plug.
Charles, what were you gonna say? I didn't understand that. Charles?
Me?
Were you no, Charles was saying something about.
Oh, just one of the things he listed that he has on Marketplace.
In the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this little red mixer.
Matthew and
plug
I
the
are having a
output.
separate conversation.
Okay. Sorry.
That may not be the best cable to run or the best connector, but yes, you will do the output from that little red mixer into one of those two jacks at the top of the Bose on the back. The
But
combo.
It's a different size. How does it typically plug into it?
Yeah.
Previously,
got-
where do you plug that in? Is it the line in?
The aux.
Oh,
one-
yeah,
oh, the
that's fine.
aux. Okay,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, because she,
Right?
yeah, you're right. That's fine because her microphone is plugged in there. Where's your music source? Also from that unit, the Tech Star, the red.
The music source is from my iPhone, and the iPhone is Bluetoothed to
Into the Tech Star.
the text. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that works then. So it goes into the line, the line in. Okay, cool.
So really, you're only using the Bose as an amplifier and the speaker. You're not doing much mixing or anything else with it. It's just passing the signal along, which is fine.
Yeah.
Right. So the audience
Yeah.
can hear.
Yeah.
Yay.
But that little mixer gives you effects, right? That's what you're
Yes.
using the mixer
Yeah,
for.
of
Yeah. So the
course.
Bose doesn't have that. That makes sense.
Right.
Yep.
So I was a little confused. That's why I needed you guys' help because I'm adding something to my whole setup, and I'm like, wait, where does it go?
Yes.
Definitely come back and let us
Well,
know how
yeah,
it works
please
out
come
for
back. Please come back
Thank
and
you guys so much.
Michael,
You
just so you
helped.
know, side note, can you imagine?
Thank you, Michael.
Can you imagine the same
You're welcome.
process just on Clubhouse?
you. I know. I know. There is benefit to video.
Yes.
But you don't have to see me to get the benefit from it. So
But I want to have an opportunity for Arthur to ask this question. Arthur, what do you think? He's like trying to find the mute.
he's trying to get the right buttons to click there. Yeah.
And
There
that's
you go.
Michael with the hat, right?
Yes.
No.
That's Michael with
With
the
the
app
hat?
in the middle. Yes, the app screen, the club deck
The
is
app
Michael.
screen. Yes.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
No?
Yeah, no, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I just had to have this as a prop so I'd look a little bit more. I'm not using this.
You
at all.
can have that connected to your phone, couldn't you? You probably
Dude,
could.
anytime you got a Heil PR40, I want you to use it. It's a
Hey.
great microphone.
I know,
Seriously.
but I was like just kind of following along and clicking through the Zoom link and then saying, okay, what can I get it to work and without the lag time on the computer? So anyway, I'm using my phone right now, but we don't need to do this now. I was going to do like your basic sound check. I was rewarded with much more than that by experiencing the room today. So Really, I just
Next
wanted
week,
to.
we can do that. You can always come back next week.
Yeah. No, I'll do that next week. I just want to do a basic sound check for Clubhouse, for a Clubhouse room. There was a little bit of issue that I was having, and that issue, and this is just for future next week's reference. The issue that I was having was that I would have a room where I'm, introducing myself, and I got music coming in using my, DLZ, and so I bring the music in on one of the channels, and I hear it pretty loud, even though the audience did not. And so my mic level was fine, but the music level seemed to be very. I'm sorry, it was loud in my ears, in my headphones, but it wasn't loud to them. Like, so when I got down to a point where I thought I was just having a little bit of background music, they heard nothing.
Okay.
But I heard it.
Okay.
So, and I think later on, I kind of think I knew what the fix was. It was going to the settings on the headphone. And so then there was like, it was like a custom setting on the, not a custom, it was a quick mix. The quick mix on the DLZ. And then I was able to just tap down on the channel where I had the music coming in. And I think that solved it, but we can play with that next week.
Sure, yeah. It sounds like I'm not super familiar with the DLZ Creator. Sean hasn't been around for a little bit, so he hasn't seen all this video setup yet. But he would have a, but good night, Michael. He would have, well, let me, I can put this up too. I need to go to bed. Wait, I think he ended the room too by accident. He ended the Clubhouse room instead of quitting the Clubhouse room, which happens sometimes. But that's okay. Now that Clubhouse is done, it's just all on YouTube. So I think DLZ, if I remember correctly, the DLZ Creator has custom mix to your headphones. I think that's what you're referring to. And if you are the level visually look right, but then you're hearing the music way too loud that you have to push the fader down lower, then you're not piping the actual audio source to Clubhouse correctly. Because if your headphones somehow have the music crank up only in your ear mix, then the main mix that you send to Clubhouse has to be compensated because you hear it loudly, so then you lower it, then it's not coming through correctly for them. That's what I suspect it could be. But we can take a look more next week because the reason why we need that is you got to either hook it up on Clubhouse and then join us on Clubhouse, switch on music mode or high quality mode so that we can actually hear you correctly. Obviously, we can't even hear it right now. It's not connected to the system. But you could also do this if you want to join via Clubhouse. You could plug your DLZ Creator into your phone like you would Clubhouse, but join us through Zoom. Then we can still see you. You can still see us because the sound setup is the same, essentially. You're using your USB connection.
I would still use the same connection coming out of the DLZ to my phone.
Do you want to try it now? Right? Because typically that's what you do, right? You have a Lightning to USB adapter. Yeah, go ahead and try it now and see if Zoom will be able to take your DLZ Creator as the input source and output source too.
Okay.
You can test it if you want to. You can plug it in and see if it actually sees it. Yeah, my assumption that it probably will.
All right. So then you should be hearing me through the mic, right?
Not yet. Is it? So it's plugged into your. But you need to go on your phone. Is it connected to your phone now? Your connection, the Lightning. Yeah. So and it's connected to your DLZ. Now you need to go into your Zoom app. See if you can change your input and output to your DLZ Creator.
So there's a settings on the Zoom app.
It is you're on your phone, right? But that should still be an option, I would imagine, unless you have to leave and come back. But that I can't.
You're saying an option on the Zoom
on the Zoom app on your phone, yeah. Maybe
it's got meeting settings,
audio setting, and see if you can find that.
as long as the phone recognizes it, right, it
Yeah.
should then be able to start to be seen as an option. So whenever you plug into your phone, usually like through iPhone, through the lightning cable, it'll give you a secondary option of audio choice, like an aux-in audio or a separate mic, is kind of what we're talking
Where would
about.
that option be popping up?
So in the Zoom at the very bottom left, where you have the little audio mic and you've got the little up arrow, if you click on that, you'll get the opportunity to choose, select a microphone at the top and then select a speaker below. That's one of the best ways to kind of see the pieces. And you can, sometimes what you can do is, if you need to, is you basically get that set up. You can move them one at a time. What I would always do when I'm trying to figure things out ahead of time, I'll jump in a meeting by myself and I'll do the test speaker and microphone. And I just kind of keep clicking until I find the right one if I'm doing a brand new setting. It's also a great way to, if you take it and record yourself by yourself, that way you can do some quick audio checks to make sure you sound okay as well.
Now, the only one
Okay.
thing that I'm not sure of is I haven't tested it on my Zoom. Now, what about you, Matthew? Are you on your phone still? Oh, you're not. You
No,
switched
so
to.
I jumped over to my computer,
I
so
see.
I'm full set with vMix with microphone pulled in and
Okay.
all that stuff.
So it may very well be that, and people maybe in the comments would tell us, it may very well be that it is not. It is maybe a phone is not recognizing it. Maybe it needs to not be running Zoom. Maybe you have to come back to Zoom again, but we don't have to do it tonight. But my hope
we
is
don't.
that
Yeah, we'll worry about this next time. But I just wanted to let you know, just as a setup, what I'm looking to solve.
yeah.
Yeah.
This okay. You got something to show us, Matthew? Oh, you're switching microphone. So he's switching his
I'll
input.
switch back right now over to my phone, and I'm going to plug in my Rode piece with a lightning cable into the bottom, and I'll see if it gives me the option in Zoom.
Okay, it's like a different input, right? Here, this is the reason why I call this channel Learner to Learner, because frankly, personally, while you do that, I'm going to do a little soapbox talk, because I have a problem when I was learning a lot of all this audio stuff. I'm not an audio pro. I have experience, but I'm not an audio pro. This is not what I do professionally. But I also have some information that I could share because I've learned over the years, right? Same thing with other people. People who are here to learn can also share what they've learned to other learners. So that's why the whole concept of learner to learner is that I don't want to have the hierarchy of this is the pro up here being the instructor and teach you all know nothing lowly people. I don't like that concept of learning. So that's why Learner to Learner is for this particular purpose. We are all learning together and we can still learn. In fact, learning together is more fun too, as you can see.
So,
absolutely.
Okay, Charles back.
Was he able to get his audio? Was he able to get his audio switched?
No,
Matthew is trying to test on
here's
his. Okay. Oh, he's testing it too, Charles.
So, yep.
You're gonna get onto the Zoom version of on your phone. What about Matthew? Did you? I do not
nope.
hear you, Matthew. No sound from you, Matthew. And Charles is trying to see if we can troubleshoot that too. I wonder if it does take the USB input as a source. Okay, Charles is starting to share screen, so I might be able to pull that up for you too. It's still coming. Double click to enter.
Maybe I need to close out Clubhouse.
Clubhouse is already closed out, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think Michael, when he left the room, he accidentally closed the room instead of leaving, which happens a lot on Clubhouse.
Okay. No, but should I just close the app completely?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. No. So if I can get my screen to share, hold on 1 second. There we go.
Okay.
Try this again.
Okay. Is it coming through?
I'm trying to share my.
Okay, it's coming through now. Okay. All right, let me share your screen for everybody. Hang on. I need to assign that screen. That is Charles sharing. There you go.
There you go. All right. So I'm in a different Zoom room. And if I go up to the top left, you see that little speaker icon next to the left arrow in the top left?
Yeah.
So I want you to click that little speaker, and it should flip over to a headset.
Okay, right now it shows blank on our screen, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well,
is it a pop-up?
Oh, it stopped sharing? Oh, hold on.
No, it's sharing still there. It's just show black. Oh, now.
Yeah, it stopped sharing on my side.
Maybe
so
it's trying to switch this input source, that's why. But at least Arthur knows where to tap now.
Yeah, in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see an arrow pointing to the left. Yeah. There should be a speaker symbol to the right of that, and you're going to want to click that. You may get a notification if you didn't when you connected your...
Yeah, I didn't get any notification. And when I click on that, it just presents a little X next to it.
Maybe it's not seeing it as an option. Maybe the DLZ may not be connected to the device right now.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean the connection is not established. The physically may be connected, but it's not reading it.
Okay. Should I unplug it, plug it back in?
Maybe try unplugging just the USB-A that's connected to your adapter, that white adapter, and then plug it back in.
Okay.
Or another option is, hop off the call and then come back onto the call and see if sometimes the app doesn't see it because you're in the middle of the call.
Yeah. Let me just take off the USB out of that adapter.
This is a common Clubhouse thing. We hop off Clubhouse and come back on, and this solves a lot of audio issue.
One other possibility is you could disconnect your audio from inside of Zoom and then try to reconnect it and see if it recognizes it then. That's a cool layout.
And where do I disconnect my audio?
So on the phone, scroll all the way to you want to get to the very far right. So you're going to kind of swipe the thing to the left to get to the far three dots.
Yeah.
And then click disconnect audio. And then now the problem is if you did that, you probably can't hear me for the next step. You'll then need to go back and reconnect it. So I hope you can read my lips. I didn't think about that part. I should have mentioned that before I told it to disconnect all the audio.
Okay, I did disconnect the audio, then I went back to the audio.
So when I tried on mine, I didn't.
I did disconnect it and then reconnected it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that did anything.
I still, when I was doing my testing, I couldn't get it to pull up any other option in the Zoom mobile app, or even my AirPods. Well, they just weren't populating for some reason right then, or the cable of the Rode directly into it. Yeah. Neither one.
Maybe while you're in the call, maybe you're unable to switch it. So,
I was able to hook up my. I found an old, because I was like, what the heck do I even have to plug into my, I was like, what do I even have to plug into my phone for, other than my Rodecaster? So,
but EarPod is a little different than like an interface.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So but I knew there was an option. I just couldn't remember where on the screen
maybe this is what we'll do. Like when we're off of here, if we can, I'm gonna try to test and see if I can actually do a let me see if I can connect my Rodecaster Pro to my Zoom app on my iPhone, and then see if I have the option to choose the audio interface that way. Then we'll know for sure. But again, without testing, we wouldn't know. So
while you're doing that, I might just leave the room, leave the Zoom call, and then
why did you do that first? Because I'm my connection, my phone is not. I don't know how it's gonna. Why don't you leave and then come back and see if it will work? I can also try and see if I can connect that same call from my. Can I connect from my own Zoom account from my phone again? I can.
It will ask you to switch device, is what I was doing. So, which is kind of neat.
Can I add, but not switch?
Well, so are you using a personal meeting ID?
No.
Then no. It'll say you already have a call-in session.
Okay.
Or you'll have to switch, like Matthew was saying. The only time you can do it is when you only time you can log into two devices and run them simultaneously is when you're using a personal meeting ID.
Got it.
Because it just views it as an open room.
Okay. Now anybody can join. I can join from my iPad and
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
vMix. vMix is the Windows equivalent of Ecamm, right?
Yeah, on steroids, and way more expensive.
How much is it? Like
$1,200.
$1,200,
How
but
much?
it's out. Are you paying it outright, right?
$1,200.
But it's not a subscription, so it's $1,200. You get the software, yeah.
Correct. And I mean, it's a neat piece that like what you can do with it nowadays. So if I was to come over here and just do a quick screen share and show you guys, I'm not obviously set up to be planning to change it all, like show everything specifically, but it's very much, I say it's like OBS, but on steroids, truly. So you've got your different things you can pipe in. You can push things over, change it all around.
It looks like OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What really sold, like I've had it for a bit of time, but what really sold me on it now is their newer Zoom capability to where I could actually connect into this Zoom meeting and then pull and push one of your video pieces up onto like this.
To your stream. Yeah. Cool. So which is what Ecamm is doing, which is what I'm doing right now, is being able to pull but so you could be joining the call from your vMix.
Yep.
And then send your feed and confuse the heck out of me like Charles does sometimes.
Yeah. Because and the key to this, which is what, if anybody's watching, is it all has to do with virtual camera outputs, right? All of the stuff that we're playing around with, you have the ability to manipulate what's on the screen, creating different layers, doing all of that stuff, and sending it out through a virtual camera output that you use your input as your webcam.
Yeah. And then Ecamm does that. Now, I saw earlier, I wasn't paying attention to the chats, but I saw earlier that there was some kind of conversations going on that somebody needs to ask me something about color or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, color correction, because that's part of what you do. I mean, there's color involved in what you do as a day job.
Yes.
So I had shared, he was talking about the Thunderbolt 2 device that he had sitting in his closet. And I shared some Facebook Marketplace links of where I had some things from my closet that I was getting rid of. One of those things was the data
sync?
color.
Oh, yeah.
Spider.
The color sync.
Yep, which is
calibration. Monitor calibration.
Yeah. Yep. So that's where he came up, I'm colorblind, so I need
something else to do that for you.
Exactly.
Correct. So I told him that was my reference, that you could speak to this better than I could.
I don't know how much better, but I just have somebody.
Maybe not the specific device, but the whole process behind having a device similar to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have different profiles, because colors are all color subjective also to our eyes, but there's standards like for broadcast Rec 709. That's a specific broadcast standard that everybody follows, that you have to work in, so that when I'm doing my color correction, which we always do, you tweak stuff. And if you don't have your monitor calibrated to the standard Rec 709 as close as possible, all the changes that you're doing is only good for you and not for the broadcast. So that's why color calibration for your working monitor is very important. At work, we actually just buy a monitor that is already, BenQ has a really good monitor that is calibrated for broadcast, and that's what we use. That we don't have to worry about calibrate. The factory setting, they've already calibrated it as close as possible to the broadcast standard. Hopefully
So
that
to illuminate
helps.
the importance of this, I'll tell a very fast story. I'm actually color deficient, but most people don't know the difference. Color deficient means red, green, blue rod. My red rod is shorter, so I have a deficiency in red.
Oh, okay.
And when I, a long time ago, we had one of those big old CRT TV, big screen ones where I had the
Tube.
bulbs firing up onto it, right?
Oh, I
Move out to
remember
get
those
my
things.
move out to get my own place, and I take it with me. And I'm in the place. I'm like, this just doesn't look right. Just doesn't look right. And I'm one of those people. You tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. So I decide. I'm working in. I spent a long time in home audio, car audio, doing like audiophile type stuff, like high end stuff. So I had the special discs and the filters and such to try to tune in the TV. Remind you again, I'm red deficient. So I open up this TV and I'm playing around with the dials in this thing, trying to get it all tuned in, getting frustrated. And I finally get it to where it looks amazing to me. About 2 nights later, my friends come over to hang out. They're like, "What's wrong with your TV, man? It's like all red." I'm like, "Looks perfect to me."
Yeah, it's calibrated for your eye. That's what
Exactly.
it is. Yeah.
Yep.
That's like, okay, it looks kind of like maybe I should try to calibrate it your video source so that it looks like what you look good in. So is it something like, do you look good now?
I'm like, wait a second. Oh, nice. Thanks, dude. And I'm like, what the heck? Don't messing with me.
All right,
I
switch
actually
back
I've got to
to
get a
video.
friend to come over and help with that part because I've got these 2 lights up here that are coming down with soft boxes on it. So Charles, I look at you and your coloring is phenomenal. I look like I'm half a zombie flushed out, and I need to get somebody to get my friend to come over and just help me figure that tuning in because I learned my lesson with the big screen TV.
So speaking of big screen TV, this will it's so funny because I remember one of my friends had one of these.
Oh, the projector? Is that the projector? Yeah, the
It's
projector
with
projector
the
the
fold
mirror.
out.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep. So this was one of the first big screen TVs. The next edition, the next rendition of this, the bulbs were actually in the fold out. So the whole like center folded out. It almost looked like a seat. And I mean, it weighed a ton. But you would fold this out. The screen was bigger, but you fold out the lights, and the 2 lights actually shot directly on the screen instead of going to a mirror like this one. But yeah, it's just interesting. It brings back memories.
Yeah.
Now we have
about that.
projectors that are this big, right? Like
I know.
that do
Pocket size.
millions of colors. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
wanted to ask Matthew, so what is your specialty? What do you do since you invested that much money in the V, I forgot what it's called.
vMix and everything.
Yeah, are you doing podcasting or what do you do?
Yeah, so I am a cloud-based accountant that I've been very fortunate to get involved within my community. I have a Facebook group of 2,700 bookkeepers, accountants, and tax professionals. And I've always been a tech nerd. I love being able to share knowledge with others. So I have a YouTube channel where I make videos, put content out there. And I always like to push the boundaries of what tech can do. Nowadays, especially since the pandemic, everybody's doing video. A lot of people are doing live stream stuff. And you guys kind of mentioned before, the thing I hate about Zoom is when you go live, there's so much wasted space, top and bottom, and then you've got the Zoom overlay, and it just looks horrible. And the engagement, like it's a great tool for what you can do, but the engagement isn't always there. And with vMix, I've been learning to use it over the last few months to start building out more of a studio where you can bring multiple people in. They can come in through a phone or a different device through a special link. Their audio is upscaled to make sure it's decent for you. Now the cool thing is that it can integrate to Zoom to make it easier to bring people from a Zoom image in, and then you can custom frame it like you've been seeing these folks do all night long. And my goal is, by doing it, is taking the level of video up a couple notches further, because I think if you've got higher quality content, that good audio, good video, good presence, good tone, everything else, more people will want to watch you.
And pay you to watch you. Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome. You're
so-
amazing, Julian.
Thank you.
Well, we just started doing the same thing. So we do a live. We just started last week every week we do a live Q&A, and with people that are on our software platform. And so last week we streamed for the last time, and I mean, we just streamed it to YouTube. I mean, it was total impromptu, didn't schedule anything, just like, you know what, why not? We'll see what happens. And it's gotten a ton. You know, we took the live stream and then we cut it into shorts, you know, and have posted shorts from that live stream every day this week. And it's gotten a ton of interaction. Like people, and all it was open Q&A. People just love that rawness of it. They like feeling like they're part of something. And if you can deliver on video and audio, and Zoom definitely makes it easier in that regard. But using software like vMix or Ecamm, you can get rid of that Zoom logo that sits in the bottom corner of all your live streams, which is super annoying. You know, at the end of the day, is it a deal breaker? No. I mean, I'd rather you go live with Zoom than not go live at all. But you know, it definitely makes a difference.
So to answer that question, I just saw I'm catching up from message from like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. The channel, I just created this channel 2 weeks ago because I wanted to have a separate channel to it. Like I don't want to mix. I was playing with the first week. I was playing with it on my personal channel, which is my playground. I play with stuff, and if I feel like I need to have a separate thing that is on its own, so it's learnertolearner.com will forward you to the channel, the YouTube channel, or youtube.com/@learnertolearner. That way, this stream is going to be there. Eventually, I'm still designing I'm going to redo the intro music. I'm going to design a logo for it. But the concept is there. The learner to learner is exactly what I was telling you earlier. Why this is, I think, creating that community of learners coming together to learn, it's invaluable. And I love that. I did that on Clubhouse for the last 3+ years.
Completely agree. So the whole community I have for accountants, the whole premise of it is being able to take people's questions and answer back with video. Because when you ask a question around accounting and like QuickBooks, sometimes a written response, there's so much jargon involved, you can't easily give somebody a quality response without showing it. So I was doing a weekly live stream we called weekly sessions, and we would take questions from the group and turn around and show and answer how to do certain things, which evolved it, helped me connect with Intuit and ADP to be on their different councils or writer networks and those kind of things, and expand the reach. It's all about sharing your knowledge freely without the expectation of something else coming back in return. Yeah, it's how you do that in life, and life will always provide. I just truly believe it.
Well, and it's so funny. Like I look at it from, I kind of take the same concept, but it's for a different purpose. For me, yes, it gets some exposure to the brand, but also it serves as a additional support channel. So even people that aren't jumping in and asking questions, or maybe they don't know what
to ask.
Sometimes you don't know what question to ask, and where we work with so many people from Amazon influencers to large educational companies and everything in between, all their use cases are completely different. All their backgrounds are completely different. All their tech, knowledge is completely different. And so, it's so funny, like I'll get a comment on one of the videos and I never really thought about that. Like, that's kind of cool. I would have never put that together because they didn't have that background, or they didn't have that particular use case, but they take that use case and like, I could take those same steps and apply it over here. And it's so fun watching that stuff come together when you can create just a learning it. You're taking a learning moment, you're sharing it with whoever wants to watch, and you don't realize how much it helps people that you have maybe no clue who they are. You're like, wow, I affected someone today. I think what you're doing with learners to learners is great. So,
thank you. I think, and it's all of us, right? Because it's not just one person. And I told you I hate the concept of I am up here an instructor. I'm telling. It's not like there are places and there are occasions that you want to learn from an instructor, but there is also time for me. Think of group studies. This is what group study is.
In college, yeah.
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 And I enjoyed that. And there's like a bit of a social part too, right? And
Yeah.
the question that one person might have that Jeanette will ask, I may not have ever thought about doing that. And then it's like, oh, that's way to do it. Last week, remember John Lowe was in here with Charles, and his audio was one side heavy coming in from Clubhouse, Zoom. We couldn't figure out what that was, and we tried this and tried that, and it turned out, you know what we learned? We learned that you can actually, if you have a multi-track audio interface, pipe into Zoom. Now Zoom, it's a new feature. You can check on, select this audio source that has multi-track. You get to choose which track you want to turn on for that. Yeah. So
you can pipe in whatever tracks you want.
By default, it chose everything. That's why we're hearing him twice, because his microphone is a mono microphone. So it default to the left channel, but he's also piping in channel 1 and 2, which is the main mix. That's why we hear him more over on the left. And we learned that just from troubleshooting somebody's issue.
Whenever you take the time to teach others, I always firmly believe you're the one that tends to learn the most.
Yeah. This is why I do this week after week, because it excites me, the things that I learn. And it also excites me that I can pass along things that I've recently learned or have learned to somebody else who might be new to it. So, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we
had
could
that
tell.
happen
You
today.
could see the excitement.
Yeah, I mean, I had a coaching session today, and my topic was easy. You know, are you a yes person or are you a no person, and how do you stop saying yes to everything? And you know, so it's a bunch of entrepreneurs that I was coaching, and you know, it's a pretty brief topic. Like you have to be able to prioritize. You can't do fulfillment. You can't do all the time. You can't say yes all the time, or else you're going to kill your business before it ever gets off the ground. And you just have to find a way to redirect it into a manageable avenue. And after I get done talking about it, 10, 15 minutes in, one of the other participants, he was one of the students in the class that I was teaching, he came up and he's like, you know, he said, this just resonated with me. And he reiterated it the way that he took it in his own personal use case. And you could see for some of the people that the light bulb hadn't quite clicked yet, the way that he read it back in his own example helped them identify even more with the whole premise. And so it's always fun when you get people together that are all about, you know, just community, learning, education, you know, time well spent, whether it's learning something or just, you know, enjoying the friendship and of a community. It's always amazing what you get out of it. You know,
so learner to learn. The reason why I started this channel called Learner to Learner is because I didn't want to corner myself to sound. There's so much more that I can do with this channel, I think. You know, obviously right now it's just the very, very beginning. It's like a pre-launch. I haven't even launched it. There's no logo, no identity yet. But the concept is there. And I want to take what I've already been doing from Clubhouse, which is the Roadcaster user meetup, and Soundcheck, over to Learner. And then you have those groups of shows, if you want to call it, or sessions. And then in the future, we could do other things. We could do Ecamm, for instance. A lot of people ask about Ecamm as we're doing this. We can do other things that I feel passionate about learning, or maybe other instructors or other people who want to teach or share knowledge or host sessions for mutual learning on other topics as well. Remember, Charles, you told me
I
that.
love that.
You told me
that idea.
You told me, I think when we were talking about that, you said, don't make something that you can you can sell to somebody.
You can sell.
Yeah.
Make something that you can sell one day. Like don't strap it to, and it doesn't mean that you have to sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
But make something that you can sell, because that way you're not putting yourself in as the barrier. Because if you end up saying, okay, I want to step back, I don't want to sell it, but I want to hand it off. I want to have someone else kind of take the reins. I'm going on vacation for 3 months. I don't want it to die off, but I'm not going to be able to do this every week. If you tie it so strongly to a personal brand, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like you're strapped to that thing until it dies, or it dies with you, you know, whatever decision that you're making in your everyday life. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up, is they're like, you know, I want to be about me, but then
Personal brand.
okay, right. You can only take that so far. Like there's a point where you have to come up with an exit plan of some sort. What is your contingency if something doesn't work out the way? What if you get sick, or whatever? But you know, designing it to where it can be sellable, it doesn't matter. You could have, hey, here's another new, I'm going to have someone doing videos for the next 3 months because I'm going overseas on vacation. You say, hey, I'm kind of handing the reins off to you. I need an introduction video from you. Can you do that? You know, a little mini VSL talking about yourself, what you're going to be covering over the next 3 months. And then I'll do a video intro to your introduction video, kind of that digital handoff. And that way the audience that's following you understands what's going on. They're not like, hey, we're Django. You know, they can see that. And I just think it creates something that's way more sustainable and is way more likely to grow. Because as you start to get different contributors in, you know, people doing different videos on their specialty, you know, hey, I'm doing this every week. If you want me to restream it into your channel as well, I don't mind doing that. I'm going to stream it on mine. I can stream it to yours as original content. Doesn't take any extra time. It's the same feed. So, you know, if you want me to do that, great. And now you have a different playlist for that particular setup, but you're just expanding and you have all these people, you know, it grows the channel. I mean, it's just, you have to look at the channel as a business, not just a YouTube channel.
One of the things I learned kind of the hard way with the stuff I was doing previously, the shorter version of a longer story is, you mentioned before, like not just being a yes person all the time. I actually in 2021 had been growing my business, was doing all the live streams, going to the different conferences, everything else, and I burnt myself out completely. I actually burnt my business to the ground. I've been rebuilding it over the last year of time. The reason I'm sharing that is one of the things, I had a partner we were doing those live streams with, and it became a situation, it's a weekly show. It starts becoming a heavy lift. It's a lot of work to do all this stuff consistently all the time. If I have one bit of advice that I've picked up from somebody else, it is totally okay to do occasional replays instead of having to, like, you know, take that time off to get that rest. I actually love what you were saying. I now feel that my responsibility more than anything else, it's less about me talking. I want to help lift other people's voices up instead now. And the more I can do that and help them along their journey, it also helps me as well. But why not, again, let's full community lift everybody up that way. So try to do those things. For a YouTube channel, I created a playlist, and anytime I'm a guest on somebody else's show, I have a playlist that says guest appearances. You can go to a different channel, find the video, save it to your playlist on your channel so your community can find that stuff, still gives the link back to that channel, right? And gives them the views. You can use the community area to actually even help promote it. And now you can get more cross promotion stuff happening across different channels as well to help build it faster.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
That's awesome. And then is this your channel? Parkway Business Solutions? Is that your channel?
Yeah.
Do you mind dropping the link in the chat so people can find it? I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, I think I have like 3 subscribers right now.
No, you have 7 now.
Oh, Oh, see, it grew.
It'll be 8 when this is done. It'll be 8.
But here's the thing:
you have 8 subscribers.
I
It'll be 9
took
when it's done.
that's many times, many folds more, right? It's more than double already. It's just tonight alone. So
Put that back so I could take a picture.
of which?
Matthew's, the one you just put.
What was that? Put the link?
Yeah, I saw the link at the bottom. I wanted to take a screenshot.
Yeah, this is the this one. No, this one. This is the link.
In
That's
the chat,
the
I just
link.
put the.
Something popped up.
Yeah, it was
this
to my
link.
YouTube.
This link.
That's
yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously, I will over time go back in there and there you go. So and that, in fact, I can do this as well, couldn't I? This and that's for Matthew and that's for Charles. And
Nice.
what about you, Jeanette? YouTube channel yet?
Yes, actually, what is it?
drop it in the chat. I'll drop it in here too.
You know, the one thing we're all not doing is putting the little special thing at the end where it's an automatic subscribe. I always forget to do that.
Ding. In fact,
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna have to. Okay, so as I am also thinking, I've been ideating this whole new channel, the concept for this whole channel, because it did come from somewhere, right? I want to continue to do the Clubhouse one as long as there are people coming to us, but I also want to see with this new platform what else can I do, and one of the things that is interesting is the integration with Zoom now allows me from YouTube live stream. If people are interested, I share the link. I'm gonna do a proper forward. I think earlier people were saying that you have issue going to the actual Zoom link. So I need to figure out like how to solve that. I can probably like forward that link to a page and then have people fill out when there are many people, when there's like, maybe 15 people wanting to join, and I can't handle all that, right? So they can submit their question, and Zoom actually has a require registration.
Events. Yeah. So Zoom Events is the new like hubbub, like top line one that I started using it, and you can set up different live. So there's Zoom meetings, Zoom webinars where obviously you've got people like we could be the ones that are up talking, and then you have an audience that's separated by a wall, right? They can watch us, they can talk to us, everything else, but they can't actually come on camera unless we bring them up, and they can't speak unless we bring them up. Now, then there's Zoom Events, which gives you the ability to market meetings where you can have everybody up on camera and engaged and involved at the same time, or a webinar. You can market them the same way, have registration links where people have to register for it, and then set it up into a new hub. And those things can live there as however you want. You can stream it to different places as well. It's pretty spiffy what you can do. You can do multi-day events, everything else.
Yeah, so for a simple meeting, like this meeting that we have, if I just check on require registration, then people have to fill out their email address I can require them to answer like a question. So they would tell me like what are the questions that they want to come onto the stream for, come onto the show for. Then that gives me an idea of what they want to ask, whether or not we can take them. And also, if we do take, at least we know it's not like a bot or somebody who just want to come up here and just, create a fuss, right? So I can pre-scan them. And once I approve them, they will get an email with the link. So once they click on, then they join the thing. Obviously, with 7 subscribers, I don't have that issue yet. So I can just go, here's the Zoom link, join. And just like how Clubhouse has been, even when there were like a lot of people in Clubhouse, sometimes we would have too many people. We've have Clubhouse rooms going on for 4, 5, 6, 8 hours because the questions keep coming. But obviously we can't do that for so long. So I set it for 1 hour, but this sound check itself is going on for 2 hours now.
Yeah, almost 2 hours.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Do you remember the channel now, Jeanette?
Yes, I'm pasting it in the chat right now.
Okay, good. Then I can put that in there. I am so glad, Matthew, that you get to join us tonight on Clubhouse. Please come back anytime you want.
7 o'clock Pacific time, basically, on Tuesdays.
Is it 7 Pacific? It's yes, for Soundcheck. For Soundcheck, yes. There's a Roadcaster one that starts at 6 Pacific, but the Soundcheck one comes on at 7 Pacific, yes. And we usually do for 1 hour, but when we're excited, we go a little longer. And Charles, I'm glad you're able to hop on too. I think John Lowe is on vacation with his girlfriend, so I wouldn't fault him for not joining us. But anytime, this
He
is
was absent from class.
yes. Yeah, he's excused. And but the idea, the concept of what I was doing on Clubhouse, in fact, not just me, a lot of people like Sean and Charles at one point, not so much recently, but back then, remember Soundcheck, you would help out too. The Roadcaster Pro user, Roadcaster user meetup, it would be there. Michael as well. You see, like Michael didn't want to get on the camera, and he finally did too. Like, you know, it was effective too, showing the screen that he has. So as I think before the integration with Ecamm, it's a little bit clunkier to do that. But now with Ecamm integration, it is so much easier for me to fairly quickly. It's not as easy as on Clubhouse where they can just raise their hand, but it could almost be as easy as that. If I just put the link in the chat where they can click it, or a link they can go and fill out the required information and then be receiving an email with the link, and then have them ask the question live so that we can go through the process, and not just helping that one person. I'm sure that video gets viewed again by other people. They may also learn it's the same thing.
That's the big thing. And I think, you know, people have to understand that just because it's a Zoom doesn't mean that you have to join video. You can join just audio. You can leave your camera off. You can join from your phone, disconnect your, keep your camera off. It doesn't matter. However you can show up. It's the same thing, but I definitely think it
I'm gonna retype just the sorry, OCD, youtube.com/@jiggymig. Okay, why don't you, Jeanette, type this, copy this and paste this. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Type and paste this in so that I can see your face with your channel. Just type in the Zoom chat. Just copy. Just give me your cleaner URL so people can just see it.
Okay, so type it, copy and paste?
Yeah, just copy the one that I just shared in there and you paste it in there.
Okay.
And then I will post it, and then we will end tonight's session with this. I'm really excited, Matthew, that you get to be a part of this tonight. It is still part of the learning. I think eventually what I'm going to do is I've already done some setup so that I can actually end my first show and start the second show. I messed it up all up tonight, because I'm just exploring it as we go tonight. So in fact, I changed my mind. I wasn't going to not do the Clubhouse screen capture, because what I could do is I could show it to you since I'm not on Clubhouse anymore. The other integration that I was doing was I like seeing the app on, I'm just gonna open up Instagram.
Using Club Deck or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was using Club Deck. Club Deck was unreliable, so I didn't like it. So I actually have this set up right now that you're seeing right now, and I can up my phone into this. So my phone is obviously it would be Clubhouse, but then when Clubhouse people talk, it makes a lot more sense. So for instance, for this layout, I would do this, and then let me turn this off. This overlay off. Then you see Clubhouse people talking in here. You see me. You see the group of people on Zoom as well.
Smart.
So, but
I tell you, I kind of like the center overlay better than that.
This one, right?
Yeah.
This one.
I like this one
I
better.
do too. I do too.
Yeah.
So
I think it tells more of what's like for the viewer. It's easier to understand what the heck is actually going on,
and
because they can see like
it,
the battery and the signal, and
it doesn't need to be
crop
up.
it all funky.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be up. Also, when let's say I'm just talking to the people in Zoom, then it doesn't need to be up. And then when I'm talking to people in Clubhouse and this comes up, obviously the layer is not right. That needs to go on top there. So you can see the Clubhouse people, then it'll come back down.
You've given me some interesting ideas with that. Like I never thought about trying to pull in that way, because you can have it set up where different video signals are triggered by an audio signal. Once it receives the signal, it pops up and shows something. So you can then take that, get the full loop of audio back into Clubhouse, so they're hearing everything. It's complicated to set it up initially, but once you get it right, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm still exploring, and there's going to be a lot of mistakes. In fact, I don't mind learning in public, and that
and think about this.
Channel.
So if you took that center overlay, duplicated it as a different layer, so you don't mess up your original, duplicate it, and then shrink it down, and put it into perspective mode. So to your right, you could duplicate it, put it in perspective mode, and put it to your right. I can do something like that, a little perspective, and then you can tilt it with the perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do
You're so fast with that
perspective this way.
Yep.
Like now you're like, okay, now you got to turn the head the right way and be like talking to him.
Hello, hello? Hello, Clubhouse. But yeah, you can. I mean, this is obviously not just an Ecamm thing. I'm sure you can do the same thing on vMix. But the idea is
it's like maybe, but not that fast.
Yeah, I'll let you know in about 2 years when I get to that level. Okay.
I'm super obsessed. Charles can attest to that. I just subscribed to Ecamm in March.
Let me tell you, I've never seen someone so flippin' active in a Facebook community for a new user. Oh my God. Like every day, bug report. How do you do this? Isn't working. Bug report, audio issue, Zoom issue. I'm like, good grief. They're going to wish they never sold you Ecamm, John. like, here's your money back. Just take it. Go away.
All of a sudden, it's going to go in one day and it just doesn't connect anymore. And it's going to be like, you've been banned.
I hope not. But I'm learning because, I go there obsessively, go there every time I go onto Facebook, because I'm not super active on Facebook, but I go to Facebook for stuff like that, go into the forum, just kind of learn, see what other people's questions are. Some of the questions I already know.
Well,
the
there's
answer.
A lot of creators in there that are doing amazing stuff in Ecamm.
Yeah.
And they give full-fledged tutorials. Like they flat out show you how they did it, and
some of them do this professionally. Like they have sessions and all that, but they would share their knowledge there. Charles, do you remember this last week? We were talking about this and then wanting to have. There you go. You didn't see. Yeah, there you go. And okay, so let's just pretend. Who was it that was speaking on the wrong side? Maybe it was Charles. So let me put Charles. Stay where you are. Don't move.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this little icon. Okay. Remember we were saying how do you flip? I can flip it. So don't look away. I figure out where do you do it now. Because it took me a while, but I know it's there, but my Windows limited. Ecamm is all about Windows, and they have a lot of Windows. So now, not this, not rotate.
Not rotate.
Flip. Where did it go? Oh, mirror. So now I can mirror you. I can even crop you a little bit, and it's actually kind of fun doing it live too. So if I zoom you in a little bit, and now you're looking at the content as we are all looking at the content, which is, if you are still in the market for a Rodecaster Rodecaster Duo. Now it's the time to get it. Obviously, this is live, so this is May 21st. You get $125 off. One torso is like 300 something.
375.
Yeah. Now's the time. Now's the time. I saw this in the Facebook post and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'm leaving before you make me spend more money.
Actually,
Right?
I'm known for that, actually. A lot of people always tell me,
Yes.
why do you always make
Right.
people buy stuff?
I'm buying so much stuff.
Because he wouldn't spend his own money until here recently. It was so funny because I didn't know that he bought Ecamm. And so I'm just on Facebook and I jump in. I saw a notification from the Ecamm beta community. And I jump in and I was looking at a couple things and I was like,
is that right?
John Ong? I was like, I immediately messaged him and was like,
is that
wait
really
a
you?
minute. Did the cheapest man I know just sign up for a subscription? Like an action, not a one-time pay, but a subscription-based service.
Love it.
And he's like, yeah.
But I used your credit card.
About that. Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, it was, I was super shocked. Very shocked. I mean, we go from using OBS and Google Meet and screen capturing
The
people's
window.
faces on Google
And
Meet.
you see my
to
mouse
pull them
clicking
in.
the layout and
Oh my God, it was so horrible. But yeah, so.
anyway.
So now anytime we try to do anything crazy like that, we just call it the John Ong effect. We're going to try to John Ong this. So.
Well, I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for joining me and being a part of this learning community. So we'll see you again next week, same time every Tuesday. Roadcaster.
John.
Yes. Do you have one other question before we go?
Just want to make sure. So I would only need this if there's latency, right? On the
Yes,
wireless.
correct.
Okay.
Then you would use that in place of the wireless setup that you have.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You're awesome, man.
All right, thank you all so much. No outro because I don't want to spend time doing it. And oh, look at that. Maybe I should do this too. How about this? All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Hey, please subscribe so you won't miss out on the live session next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.